state. They close by country, satu negeri kepada satu negeri. So yang negeri yang tidak ada banyak kes, dia still buka seperti biasa, sekolah beroperasi seperti biasa, ekonomi beroperasi seperti biasa. Dan sebagai contoh, Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, Selangor, dia memang dalam phase work from home. And then in fact, kes di Sabah semakin meningkat. Why peningkatan ni berlaku? Because of immigrants from Sabah datang bekerja ke negeri Sabah, masuk di Sabah, and then kes berlaku pada penjara. So we cannot tutup seluruh negeri because akan melemahkan ekonomi Malaysia. So that's relate with sustainability economic pillars lah. So one of the aspect of the what Malaysia did a very good job. Secondly, Malaysia juga like until now, student juga still work from have kuliah, okay. Mata kuliah daripada rumah, okay, yang tu adalah salah satu untuk mengatasi COVID-19. Selain itu juga government juga memberi insentif pinjaman dan juga stok untuk pembayaran pinjaman untuk tempoh 5 hingga 6 bulan kepada businesses untuk dibuang kerja lah untuk mengatasi membantu peningkatan ekonomi bagi negara Malaysia. Dan in fact travel juga restrict, and in fact kita tak boleh keluar ke negara, and then masyarakat luar juga tak boleh masuk Malaysia, provided with strong cases lah, emergency, that one you are allowed. But again, you need to be quarantined in a hotel yang telah ditentukan oleh kerajaan Malaysia for 14 days. Okay, sebelum untuk masuk ke sepenuhnya ke kediaman masing-masing lah. There are some of the government that try to prevent the virus untuk lebih menular di Malaysia. Okay, so yang tu yang boleh saya share lah mengatasi COVID bagi government Malaysia. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Doktor. Ini waktu yang diagihkan ke kita cuma 20 minit, Doktor. Jadi dengan mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih, di mana Doktor dapat menghadiri di International Conference on Social Science and Political Science Humanities 2020 di Universitas Maliku Saleh, Lok Semawe. Terima kasih atas many thanks, a lot of, and thank you very much for you join us in this morning, and see you next time, maybe in Malaysia or in Indonesia. Terima kasih.
Okay, is it? I cannot hear you clearly, so now turn to third speaker or you ask question. Okay, maybe I can take one question from the chat board. Okay, I am Muhammad Zawil Kiram from Marmara University, Turkey. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I would like to ask about how COVID-19 on the SDG number 5, which is gender equality. Okay, how COVID-19 affected women, especially in household. Is there any significant impact in family, such as housework distribution in family or domestic violence, especially during lockdown time where all members are at home? Thank you so much. All right, so on the SDG number 5, so its impact when you are, for example, I give the situation when you have appointment, for example, the treatment, facial, so you need to stop. So it maybe it's affect a bit of your face. So like I mentioned in the earlier slide, in terms of treatment, massage. So some of the ladies need to buat appointment dengan beautician ataupun specialist in terms of their penjagaan diri lah. So COVID-19, how they affect household? Yes, of course, working from home. Ada pro and cons, and in fact, support from the organization is very important. So you need to provide strong lines of internet, and then in fact, husband also need to play a role. Okay, I give you example. Women working from home while they are working. So ada pro and cons. So let's say in Malaysia, okay, Singaporean, Malaysian yang bekerja di Singapura tak boleh balik ke Malaysia. And then ada juga dalam kes COVID-19 sekarang ni, so work from home is actually good for the family. Okay, contohnya ada company yang melepaskan pekerja dia balik ke Terengganu. And then during that time, that one is kebaikan lah untuk pasangan tersebut. They can together during COVID-19. So yang duduk berjauhan tu of course disadvantage lah. You need to, the moral support is need to be there. In fact, actually because of the time limitation, I can share this one in terms of domestic violence. Okay, is also covered in my in terms of domestic violence. Yes, of course. Lockdown memang banyak, in fact dalam bentuk scammer. So you receive call, people ask you for tag number. I don't know Indonesia also, when you use online banking, semua sekali semua duduk di rumah. So please be careful in terms of your security code, your IC number, passport number. Okay, when people are at home, yes, it feels stressful. Some of you are happy. So it depends on the situation lah. So again, if women in fact during research, so grant pun kalau dekat Malaysia, in fact in my campus as well, if you propose topic on gender inequality in relation to SDG 5, high chances you will get that allocation to continue research, especially in relation with COVID-19. Okay, Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. It is the time is over, Doctor. We can go to the next.
Okay, maybe speaker. The third speaker now. Yeah. Is it?
Okay, we leave now, right now.
Prof. Peter.
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the next keynote speaker is Professor Peter Charles Taylor from Murdoch University, Australia, with title Representation Transformative STEAM Education for Sustainable World. Okay, we give a time just only 20 minutes. I hope I invite you as soon as possible. Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing from the chairman, but I think you said I should go ahead, so I will do. It's lovely to be with you, although it would be even lovelier if we could be together. I visited Loxamawi 2 years ago, and I have very fond memories of a lovely little town and some wonderful people. I must thank the organisers of the committee for inviting me, and in particular Dr. Ratri Chandrasari for helping me to become well organised for today's presentation. I want to talk to you today about a way forward, how we can engage in a form of education, particularly in the area of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education, how that form of education can be used to address the problems of the many problems of the second speaker raised with us and address the sustainability goals. So the title of my talk, Transformative STEAM Education for a Sustainable World. Now you'll probably recognize part of that term, STEAM. STEM is well known, and we're adding the A. The A stands for the arts, and I'll speak to you more about that as I go along. Well, we have seen the development of miracles in the 20th century into the 21st century as a result of the Industrial Revolution 4.0, commonly called the digital era. There's a couple of images here to demonstrate the wonderful progress that we've made in robotics and in health and in farming. However, this area of development is not without its problems. And one of the huge problems we have is that the era we've just entered into is having a major impact on the Earth's natural systems. This has recently been called the Anthropocene epoch. It's the epoch before us was the Holocene, and now geologists and geophysicists are saying that we've entered a new era, a new epoch, called the Anthropocene. It actually had its beginnings way back in the Industrial Revolution 1.0 in the 1800s, when we began to burn fossil fuels. So the authors of this article say that the human imprint, our imprint, yours and mine, on the global environment has now become so large and active that it rivals some of the great forces of nature in its impact on the functioning of the Earth system. In other words, we are impacting to our own detriment the air systems, the marine systems, and the land systems. And we really do need to take this seriously. There have been a number of reports recently that have highlighted, scientific reports that highlight the problem that we have of environmental unsustainability. Global warming, the International Panel on Climate Change releases reports about every 6 months, which give us measures of the amount of carbon dioxide, for example, in the atmosphere, and tell us that we have until 2050 in order to reduce the amount of emissions that we're putting into the atmosphere in order to keep global warming at its current levels and not go beyond that. Another great problem we're facing is plastic pollution. The World Economic Forum has given us some dire warnings about the amount of plastics that have entered into the marine environment. And they're telling us that there's more plastic by weight in the ocean than there are fish. And one of the big problems with that, of course, is that these plastics break down into little micro and nanoplastic particles. They don't dissolve like sugar in tea, but they break down into small particles and they enter into the food chain. And the food chain, and of course, there's a huge amount of fishing goes on. In Indonesia, I've eaten so much beautiful ikan